Alright, today I'm going to show you how I skin map cars in the LiverSpeed editor. First, I'll go over some simple tools that I use to select triangles. First is Control, Shift, and left click. You can use this to select large groups of the car. And then you can use Control, right click to make a square. You hold Control, hold right click, drag it out, make a square. Same thing with Shift, right click. This is how you deselect large areas of the car. And now I can start the tutorial. First, I see that the M1 body on this SLX 141 is all under the same mapping. We need to separate this. So first, easy thing I can do is the hood. I could just select the hood, select the roof. We could do the top of the car. There we go. And now select the trunk as well. Let me press O to get back to where I was. This side is what I want. Duplicate, call this M1 top. I'm going to assign these to the top mapping. Another simple one I can do is the wing. I could just hold S so I select all this since it's a separate object. Duplicate, call this M1 wing. And then another easy one is the side. We could just deselect parts of the car right here. We'll draw the line right here. At least for now. You can always go back and adjust what triangles you want for what area. Alright, now I'll cut it off right here. I'll call this M1 side. Great. And when I come back, I'll show you all the different pieces I have separated, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we're back. I have all the mapping separated. I have top, wing, the sides of the car, the mirror, the front, and the rear. So the next step we can do is we go to mappings and decide the sizing for each of these mappings. So we can start with the rear. I need to turn this around, so I'm going to go to heading, right click, say 0. Alright, I'm going to look at it from the back. I'm going to press B, and then we'll just make this square the size of the selected triangles for this mapping. It doesn't have to be exactly right on the edges, but close enough. Just make sure they're all there. Alright, let me just move that. Now we can do the front. I'm going to press F to go to the front. Just make sure, same thing, make sure they're all in there. Alright, one thing I forgot to do for the rear, make sure it's in the center. I'm going to right click on that, make sure it's 0. I see it's 2 off, so make sure it's 0. Alright, and then I'll show you one more. I'll do the mirror. There we go. That's good enough there. And when I come back, I'll show the sides, the wing, and the top when they're done. Okay, so we have all the mappings done. We have the top, where I've made it encompass all the triangles for the top section. Same thing for the wing. I just did it from the top for right now. And then for the side, I have it encompassing all of the side. Same thing for the mirror. Got it facing from the front. The front looking pretty good. Maybe a little higher right there. And then the rear. So now that that's done, we can go to cutout. So cutout, we see that the M1 body, they're all assigned to M1 body. So they're all on top of each other. So for right now, let me just assign this to something else. And then we'll duplicate. We'll start with the sides. So the sides are actually separate. We need to do right and left. Assign this to the skin. And the way this works is that we go to the side of the car. We need to assign it to the right, and then the opposite would be the left. The opposite is whichever side is away from the mapping. And since I have it facing this way, the right of the car is the main one. Opposite is the left. You see that right here? We have the right of the car right here. And we have the left. It's showing as green because it needs to be flipped. So let's flip it. Kind of hard to grab these small squares right here. There we go. And then we can make these the same size for right now. So 96 by 35, 96 by 35. We're going to adjust that later, but for right now it's good. Alright, same thing for the rear. We can just duplicate from here. Call this M1 rear. And then assign that to the right cutout. There we go. So now we have the rear of the car. I like to flip the rear so it faces this way. However you want to orientate your skin map is up to you. We could do one more. We could do the front. Let me duplicate from right here. Call this M1 front. Assign this to the front. Now we have the front of the car. Same deal. I'm gonna put it right here. Alright, when I come back, I'll have all the cutouts ready. Okay, we're back. I have all the cutouts approximately sized how I want it. The wing, the top, both sides of the car, the rear, the front, both mirrors. I flipped the left mirror just like how I flipped the left side of the car. I can delete this now. And now we have the skin template. So now I can hit black and white skin texture. I can just paste this in Photoshop. Let me get the wireframe as well. And now we just make sure that it's proportionally correct. So I can just draw circles on here. And then we'll see that these will not look like circles once we get them in the editor. And we need to adjust them so that they look correct. That way everything will be one-to-one. I'm going to save over the skin. I'm going to hit reload textures. Yeah. It's very wide, very distorted. So let's go to cutout. We can start with the sides. It just seems too tall, so let me make this shorter. That seems about right there. Maybe a little wider. There we go. So 98 by 26, I could just copy this to the other side. There we go. And then for the top, we could do the top as well. This seems pretty good right there. Yeah, right there should be good. Alright, and then We'll do one more. We'll do the front. Let me show you how to do the front. Same thing. Same thing as all the other sides. It seems a little too tall, so let me adjust it with the gray arrows so it stays on the bumper. That seems pretty good right there. Alright, and then when I come back, I'll have all these adjusted how I want it so they all look like circles. I've adjusted each of the sides a little bit more. The sides wasn't really circular until I adjusted a little bit more. Same with the front, top. Once you're happy with all the sides, you can just go to page, grab another black and white skin texture. That looks good. Just to double check, make sure it's good. Yeah, it's good. Just to double check, let me just draw more circles on there. Just to see it without all the skin mapping and the wireframe in the way as well. That is looking good. Okay, so now we have an S14 with a 1-to-1 skin map on all sides. That is it for this tutorial. You have a good day.